got Steve Vai in the band was I was calling people looking for guitar players. And I called David Rosenthal, who I met some time before that, and I called David and just said, hey, you know any guitar players? And David says, I'm going to give you the number of this guy, Steve Vai. You don't need to call anybody else. He's your guy. Because David was familiar with the band and he knew what we were doing. So he said, this is your guy. Just call him. So I did. And Steve was really cool on the phone, and we just said, well, let's get together and talk. So we met at his friend's apartment in Hollywood one night, and we just listened to music and talked about what we liked and everything. And I really liked Steve right out of the gate. I just thought, well, what a cool guy. I knew his playing, so that's how we met the guy. And then we said, well, let's get together and play. So he learned some of the songs off the first album, and we weren't looking for an Yngwie clone to begin with. Yngwie's Yngwie, leave that be. So Steve, we knew, was going to be different. So Steve could play this stuff, but he put his own slant on it. So we had a big rehearsal place, and Steve came over and played one afternoon, and it was great. My recollection was the guy played with a lot of fire and reckless abandon. He just went for it, and he played the first album stuff really good, really good. A lot of energy, and note for note, no, but it was great. He played the crap out of it. So anyway, that took us, that made it work. It was really playing with him for a couple hours, and that was a done deal kind of thing.
And what Steve brought to the party was that, like Jim was saying, he didn't play anything note for note. Some notes he didn't want to play. And he just said it, he had a great sense of rhythm. When we were playing in the song, the verses, the band was solidified. He wasn't soloing the whole time, which is really, really great. And the funny thing about the whole thing is that a manager had the crew sit our whole back line up here. Want to intimidate him. It's going to be heavy, it's got to be heavy. And Steve wasn't fazed by that. Steve had just come off doing 5 or 6 hours with Frank Zappa. And we just had this great feel, great guy, great sense of humor, and it gelled. So we went with that. We didn't audition a lot of people. We just knew this was going to work a little bit of a different direction, and we were up for that. We're musicians. We don't want to play a cookie stamp thing every record. Some bands do that, that's okay. But we're just trying to navigate around and do interesting music, and Steve fit that bill really right. So we enjoyed the band.
Yeah, it worked out perfect. And made a record that went pretty fast. We were rehearsing at Steve's house. Steve did the majority of the writing, so it went very quickly. We just rehearsed the songs, worked out the parts, went into the studio with Eddie Kramer, and again cut the stuff pretty much live. We all just played together over Cherokee Studios and in Hollywood. And Steve was great. Steve had all his stuff together. The songs were all together, and Steve was a piece of cake to work with. So again, the album went very painlessly, pretty much.
During the recording of the basic tracks, we decided to go to Japan and do a tour. And so we took young Steve with us, who had to go learn a lot of songs to do that, which he did. And we were able to play the new songs live before we recorded them, which we'd never done before. A lot of other band part of that, never had a chance to do that. So it's really cool to, some things worked, some things didn't work. So when we got back to LA and started working on the new album, a lot of things were changed for the better, because we experimented a bit with what sounded good, what worked for us, and for the people listening to us, and it came off real good. I'm proud of that record too.
Yeah, and it solidified Steve's role in the band, and I think Steve probably felt a lot more comfortable finishing the recording with us, because we all knew each other better. Once you tour together, that does it right there. You really know somebody pretty well. You don't have to be on the road long. And we had fun in Japan. We really had a great time. And Steve had a great time. So when we got back to finish the record, it went good because we've been there, done that.